Is Kawhi playing today?
No.
Okay. When you look at Ja, I know that they're 4-0. Since he's come back, I know they lost yesterday, he didn't play. What's been the biggest difference you've seen? Obviously, Ja makes a big difference, clearly. But in his return and what he's done so far when he's come back?
I think one, just confidence. When your best player comes back, it gives your team confidence that you can win. Win at a high level. And I always talk about Taylor Jenkins. I respect his coaching style, the way he coaches, and he's had teams playing hard, competing. But when you lose your best player, it's tough. To win consistently on a nightly basis. And so they've been playing the right style of basketball, and now just bringing Ja back, he has that pace, in transition. And then attacking the paint, he's averaging 20 points in the paint, as a point guard, so by him getting to the paint, that opens up 3-point shots, it opens up, free throws, drop-offs for dunks and layups for the bigs. And so just his pace, his ability to attack the paint and get into the paint and make plays.
Just touching on that confidence, and you guys have had star guys out for a while. Does that confidence feel like you could just, I mean, they're pretty far down the standings right now, but does it feel like you could just, the sky's the limit at that point when you get your guy back like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the season. I know it's 30 games, but still have 50-some games left. And, to have your best player come back, like you said, 4-0, and you see the ability they have when he plays. When he's on the floor, they're a different team, and everybody understands that. So, with the play-in, getting to the 10th spot, and, you don't want to see them first round, so they have opportunity. Like I said, Taylor's a great coach, and they're going to make all the necessary moves to make sure they have a chance, to get into the playoffs.
Hey Ty, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm curious, you just brought up what Ja does in the paint. We watched you guys the other night. Lessons learned from Charlotte, 62 points in the paint. Most of those were in the first half. But
42 in the first half.
What can you learn? What can you take away from that game? And how do you make the paint less inviting for Ja?
Yeah, I think we got to do a good job shrinking the floor. We talked about before the game, against Charlotte, we got to do a better job just protecting the paint. We know a lot of teams want to shoot a lot of threes, but the most important thing is teams are getting to the free throw line. If they get into the paint, getting layups and dunks, that's easier than making a three. We know teams can shoot it, but we want to protect the paint first. That's what we want to be. Protect the paint first, and then build back out the shooter. So we got to do a better job with that tonight.
I just want to check in on something you talked about in preseason a lot. Training Hawaii was, you seem like you're emphasizing the transition, getting out, getting easy baskets. Did you feel like when that personnel change, when James came in, which was a little more of a deliberate style, do you feel like to adjust your expectations for what you're hoping from transition, or are you still hoping for more?
Well, to be better in transition. I think James has helped that. Like, we had a lot of transition opportunities before James got here, but we didn't capitalize. We had 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s, 4-on-3s, and we just came up shorthanded a lot of times. And so we got to make sure that we're capitalizing and we get those opportunities. And James is doing a better job, on missed shots and getting to the middle of the floor. The guys are getting the ball, and he's making the right plays and making the right reads. And so, I think the biggest thing is we know it's not gonna be as many opportunities, but when we get those opportunities, we got to take advantage of them. And James has helped us do that.
Hey Ty, what has struck you the most about how James has found his rhythm with his team and kind of weathered the storm at the beginning?
Yeah, I think just when he first got here, just understanding how our team plays, what we're looking for him to do. And then, he was taking 6-7 shots a game, but now I think with the rotation change, getting him out early, bringing him back with the second unit, has allowed him to be more aggressive. And so when he's attacking the basket, making those step back threes, running a lot of pick and rolls, we're a dangerous team. And so just getting him more comfortable was the biggest thing, and he's been doing a great job ever since.
So you mentioned what Ja does for the Grizzlies, but over the last 2-3 months, what have you seen from Desmond Bane in terms of his ability to step in and play the role he needed to?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. He's gotten better and better each year. And then, last year was really good, but this year I think taking on that leadership role, of being the #1 option offensively. He can shoot the basketball, he can get to the paint, he can make plays, he can draw fouls. And, offensively, like, he's been tremendous. But the biggest thing is just taking on that defensive responsibility of guarding every single night, which he takes on that responsibility as well. But, offensively, he was a big topic of conversation today, in our coaches meeting. So he's very important to this team.
And just going back with Kawhi, you mentioned that earlier in the week he was getting better, and you mentioned yesterday that he's going to be able to do a little bit in terms of participating in practice. Like, what is his level of participation right
Yeah, he didn't participate in practice. He worked out afterwards, and he's getting better. He's just not clear to play right now.
The injury, like, we were in Dallas, we know he took the head injury, grabbed his head. Was that all that he was dealing with, or was there something that he was dealing with before that was perhaps aggravating
Well, it was the
in
same
game?
hip, I think he fell on it, I can't remember the game it was, but he fell on it before, huh? Utah, yeah, and he kinda, he aggravated then, you know, he played through it, and then the Dallas game just kinda took it over the top.
Is there something that you saw like that is helping you encourage like that he'll be ready, or is he's not dealing with any setbacks or anything?
No.
It's just a matter of strengthening, getting back to basketball, and then getting back to games from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.